joining me today.
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. All good.
Oh, good mate, good man. Dill's Free Ramble, how you doing?
Hello, lads. I'm repping the whatever the
Boo.
fuck this is shit. So it's got it's like Kenzo knockoff you get in Turkey. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good
Glad to be
lad.
here.
Connor Chahal, the guy who knows
Yeah.
all the flags. How you doing, bro?
Guy that knows all the flags. I'm also good. I'm repping the Bhutan. You can't see it. The Bhutan top today. Nice dragon on it because that makes me happy.
Well, that's good because we can segue straight into an international conversation about international football.
Wee,
International breaks.
boo.
We're 8 Premier League games in, and we somehow, some way, have already got a second international break. In November, we're going to have our third, and around March, our fourth. Deep down, do you actually dislike international breaks, or do you hate the fact that they interrupt the league season? Because most of us love a major tournament, don't we? Let's be real here. And we usually look back, like, these international managers don't really have a lot of time to focus on the team. They don't have much time with them, so they need these international breaks if they want to have a successful Euros, Copa America, World Cup, whatever. So do you actually think there needs to be less international breaks, or is it about right, Curtis?
I mean, it's not even deep down, mate. I just openly dislike it. It's a pile of shite. I mean, why do I want to watch? I don't want to sit there and watch England batter fucking San Marino
Oh, that's
or any other like nation that aren't ever going to qualify for a big tournament. Like, it's just. Sorry, Con, that was straight to the heart. That, but it's just bollocks, isn't it? Like, it is just bollocks, mate. I don't care. Like, I love the Euros and I love the World Cup, but the qualifiers, especially if I'm a nation like England, where let's be real, we're past the dark times of McLaren and not qualifying. We're gonna qualify now. Every tournament we're gonna qualify. It's just a waste of time, mate. I honestly don't care when they're on the TV now. I barely watch them. I'd be lying if I said I'd sat down and watched an England qualifier for 90 minutes in the last 5 years. It just doesn't interest me. I don't care.
Yeah, to be fair, I get that. Even though I go to the games, I kind of only go to them so I can go to the away games and go to the Euros.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to England, Australia on Friday. It's going to be boring as anything.
Why are we playing Australia? Like, what is the honest point of playing
the most
Australia?
random nation to play ever. Let's get
What
them
is the
halfway
point?
across the world to play us in a friendly for
It's
no
just
reason.
bollocks.
in
And
October.
the players, everyone's getting injured as it is. We don't need these bollocks international friendlies that are basically just to make money. Like, who actually cares?
No, I don't get it either. Dill, do you have the same sentiment
Yeah,
towards international? Yeah.
I fucking despise it, mate. It's terrible. Like, there's no good about it. The games are dead. Like Curtis said, we qualify anyway. Injuries, everything about it makes no sense. 2 international breaks, but when we played 8 Premier League games is a fucking joke. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then we've got another one in November. It's like, I understand why they're there in terms of like you said earlier, James, getting the team up to speed, managers and implementing tactics and stuff. But we're not going to win fuck all anyway. So what's the point? But yeah, they're just stupid. I've seen someone say, which is the daftest thing I've seen today on Twitter that did really well, saying let's save up all the international games until the end of the season when we've not got a tournament and play them then. So I thought, so that's good. So you're essentially going to have 3 international tournaments in like 4 years. Players aren't going to get a break, and then we're going to play 15 qualifiers in the space of 2 months. What a shit idea. But there's no way around it. Like, I can't think of a conceivable way other than playing less games. Like, maybe make it a draw and you get drawn home or away, and then you play each team once, something like that maybe, and you could do it in 2-3 breaks instead of 6 or 7. But yeah, they're fucking awful. And United actually won for once, so I actually want to watch them play again. That last month it was actually welcome, but yeah, no, fucking awful.
I actually kind of think we should play like just better nations. Like, we don't want to play Australia. Italy be an interesting game.
Yeah,
but we
get the Commonwealth back together, man. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, man, you know it. Connor, you're an interesting person to ask about this because you're a San Marino fan. Now, England normally win their games. San Marino do not. Do you actually look forward to the international break, or because there might be that chance you draw a game
or score a goal?
Yeah,
I actually do look forward to it. I feel like you guys, being obviously England fans, I can see why you'd not enjoy them because it is boring. Let's not take the piss. They qualify first every time. They're one of the best qualifiers every time. Obviously, it's necessary because you need the qualifiers for the tournament, but it is just boring. That is what it is. So it is just a week off football because ain't nobody watching all of that. But if you, obviously you can't because you're not from a different nation. But let's say you were, not even San Marino. Let's say you were from, I don't know, Norway. that it'll be more interesting for the nation you support, I think, because
Yeah, for sure.
you're not guaranteed to qualify. You might get a few wins, and it's a bigger deal to qualify for a tournament if you're from one of these nations. But no, I'm a fan. I like watching San Marino in international race, man. It's refreshing, even when it's friendlies for especially when it's friendlies for San Marino, because that's when we played St. Lucia last summer and we got a draw, and it's the first time I would see a goal in God knows how long. I went mental, mate. So I like international breaks, man, and they have to happen at some point.
I just had a very little thought about this, because like the Euros group, I think there's 6 teams. Like, why not just have like smaller groups and less internationals? Then you can kind of qualify for the Euros. I don't think that sounds like a much more reasonable way of getting out of so many international breaks. Personally,
Yeah, I think it's just too many matches, isn't it? And like Connor said, for us, especially as English fans, we always bosh qualifying, like do really well, win every game, and then it gets to the tournaments and we don't win them. So it's kind of like, I think we've always had a negative perception of internationals because of that record. It's like, what does qualifying matter? We can beat Germany in the qualifiers, or we can beat whoever in the qualifiers and get to the semi-finals and bottle it. So, but yeah, I mean, I get what Connor says about it being interesting for him. And if you were just kind of a mid-nation like Norway or Denmark or someone like that, then I guess you'd be looking forward to it because you're like, this could be our chance to qualify. Whereas for us, it's like, meh, who cares?
I would rather have smaller groups and actual like competitive groups. So like, I don't know, England, Germany, and I don't know, Portugal in the same group. Just a group of
You can't
3,
really
and then
have
Spain.
that though, could you? Like, you can't have 2 of them going home, or even.
I think
It'll
you
affect
could.
the quality
I
of the
just think it'd be
tournament, though, wouldn't
better.
it?
I just think international breaks be better. You get
No, yeah, it'd be more entertaining. But then, like, if you're missing out on a major nation,
Yeah,
and fucking, I don't know, someone shit qualifying from another one.
Imagine
Do you know what I mean?
an unseeded European qualification draw would be kind of fun. I can't lie.
It'd be
Yeah.
carnage, wouldn't it?
Random countries qualifying, we still wouldn't have a chance. But like smaller countries, like that never get a chance to qualify, would have. They kind of did it a little bit at the last Euros. That's why North Macedonia ended up qualifying, because
Yeah.
they put them against in the smaller bracket against like Kosovo and Georgia. I think it was in the end.
And Italy, the pussies.
Oh yeah, in the World
Yeah.
Cup they did knock out Italy. That was kind of mental.
You know what? We've talked about international football. We don't like it. Well, we like the tournaments. We don't like the international breaks. Let's go on to something more positive. And David Beckham. Now, he has recently released a series on Netflix. And to me, people have strange opinions on him. Like, basically, people just think he's a crossing merchant outside of... So I'd say people younger than us.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to mention a few things here about David Beckham. He's played for Man United, Real Madrid, PSG, and LA Galaxy, the biggest teams in those countries, not to mention the loan spells at AC Milan and Preston North End. Represent. He's won 10 league titles, 2 FA Cups, a Champions League, a treble, 115 caps at the time, only second to Peter Shilton. Is in my opinion, one of the most important MLS players in history, simply because of the exposure it gave to the league and the fact he was the first designated player. It allowed Messi and Zlatan to follow suit. He's a scorer of iconic goals, such as the Greece goal in the World Cup qualifiers. He's got the goal. He's got the halfway line goal against Wimbledon, I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just an incredibly intelligent footballer. He's 5th in the free kick scoring charts at 65. And something that goes under the radar is just how professional he is. Like, even Fabio Capello commended him for his professionalism, which says a hell of a lot if you know anything about Fabio Capello. Fergie also said this: David Beckham is Britain's finest striker of football, not because of God-given talent, but because he practices with a relentless application that the vast majority of less gifted players wouldn't contemplate. It's a career that's seen multiple lows, but quadruple the amount of highs. So, Dale, I'm going to come to you first. Is he overrated, underrated, or just about right?
No, he's massively underrated, isn't he? I mean, if you summed it up with what you said earlier about the younger generation thinking he's just a crossing merchant and his card on FIFA's a right mid and he's only got 78 pace, how shit's he? Like, those are genuinely opinions that are formed, I think, by younger people. Obviously, I don't remember him in his prime that much. I remember crying when he left United to go to Real Madrid when I was like 4 or 5 years old. That was the first time I cried about football. I've cried a lot since. But yeah, he had absolutely everything, man. He was such a cultured footballer, so gifted technically, some big clutch moments. Obviously, took both the corners as well in the Champions League final in 1999 that won us the game. If he didn't have that delivery, then we wouldn't have won that treble. Is probably England's best player of certainly the last 30, 40 years, modern generation, I think, in terms of how important he was to the team. Or he's certainly up there. He was a talisman for everything. He was a captain. Everything went through him. The whole nation's expectations were on his shoulders, even when he was still playing in America at the age of like 32, 33. He's an unreal footballer, yeah. And yeah, I wish I saw more of him, man. I really do. Obviously, I've watched a lot of stuff about him, and people have got different opinions on him as a person and stuff, which is fine. But yeah, an unreal footballer who is disrespected purely because he's not. I don't know what it is. I think it's almost because he's got that kind of stardom. And was kind of the first footballer to go and be a massive celebrity in other areas of life. People remember him for that now, who are maybe a bit younger than us that didn't watch him play at all or even see highlights of him. So I think that's kind of marred his reputation a bit, and people forget the footballer he was for all this other stuff and the fallout with Sir Alex and the kick in the boot at his head. And he was in LA when he was like 32, so he must have been shit, stuff like that. But he was still. How old was he when he came up away to Old Trafford with AC Milan when he was on loan there? He must have been like 33, 34, something like that, I reckon. Like that. And started the game, played really well as well. Like, just a really fucking good footballer, man. One of the best footballers England's ever produced. One of Man United's greatest ever players. And it doesn't really get said enough, to be honest, how good he really is, just because he kind of goes under the radar. And to deal with all the pressure he had at the time as well, with that people wanting to that hanging thing in the paper and people burning effigies of him after getting sent off and stuff like that, to then come back and still be that strong mentally and be as good as he was for so long is a testament to him. And yeah, Man United in England wouldn't have been what they were in those periods if he wasn't playing for them, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I believe after that Simeone incident, 98, he goes on to win the treble and comes second in the Ballon d'Or, I believe.
Did he come second? Who to?
Would it have been, was it Rivaldo?
Probably. I don't know. Whatever you say is right, mate.
I think he came second, which is
not bad, is
genuinely impressive. Jack says Curtis' jersey is fire. I agree. It's pretty cool. Curtis, do you actually agree with that sentiment on David Beckham?
Yeah, I think Dill ticked a lot of the boxes with his comments there. I think Beckham, even if you do think, which I don't, if you do think Beckham was a crossing merchant and a set piece merchant, even if that was his only ability, he was still one of the best to ever do it. And like that it's ridiculous. You look at players these days, how many players in the Premier League, like it grinds my gears the most when players take a corner and it hits the first man. Like Beckham's delivery created so many goals across his career, like not just scoring free kicks, but his crosses from corners, free kicks. Like he was so good, man. From a dead ball, there was literally not many more players you can think of in the world who you'd rather have over a set piece than Beckham. And I think, like Dill said, he gets a bit of stick from people who, because I know we're roughly the same age, who are a little bit younger than us, who didn't really see him and maybe go up his FIFA rating and this kind of stuff. Like what he did for United, and then obviously went to the Madrid, Galactico, and did everything there. Like the guy was unbelievable, man. His technique as a footballer was so good. And again, to deal with the pressure he had to do, because like Dill said, he was one of the first to kind of cross into the fashion style of things, the whole brand collaboration stuff. Like he paved the way for these players who are now getting paid millions of pounds to have these fashion brand deals. Like he was one of the first to ever do it. And yeah, I think he's underrated, man. He's not talked about in enough light, in my opinion. As a man or as a footballer, because I think he's done a lot for the game that people kind of overlook.
Nah, I agree. Connor, do you agree?
I agree. I'd go as far to say he's one of the most underrated players the Premier League's ever seen, because he goes close forgotten, you know, because he was obviously he won league after league after league, but what goes under the radar is the clutch moments that he produced. Like Dill said, the two corners against Bayern, a really big goal when we was 3-0 down to Spurs. So even the 1999 one against Tottenham 2-1, wasn't he the one that equalised in that game to win us the league?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, to win us the league in the treble season. He's probably top 10 or at least 15. I'm just spitballing it because I'm not thinking of names, but in Premier League history. So the fact that he's not held in such high regard, I think Dill's right. It's probably just because he's such a major celebrity outside of football. Like, loads of people know the name David Beckham because of, I don't know, who he married, for instance, and all the modelling shit, all he did in his career. But that doesn't take away how good the guy was at football. He was a very major part of a treble-winning team. Not many people can say that.
I think as well, I was just going to say, another reason why people don't rate him, it's similar to, I think, Ryan Giggs in a way. So people look at Giggs' best ever season, say at United on the left wing, and he might have got 15 goals, 15 assists, something like that. And everyone's like, well, Salah gets this, Ronaldo in his prime got that, Suarez got that. And people say the same about David Beckham. Like I saw, like it was like 4-3 through a big football page saying, tweeting David Beckham's stats out, and he one season got like 15 goals and 15 assists. And people won't see that as elite because other people who don't understand football or look at it purely in a stats-based way won't see how he affects a game and how important he is to a team and everything else that he does. And he was a right midfielder, but he also dropped into midfield as well. He wasn't always, he's not someone who's going to be in the box all the time scoring goals. He wasn't that kind of player. And I think that's another reason why people underrate him, because people see his stats and just assume that he was shit or he wasn't that good, rather than actually watching him and appreciating the kind of player he was. Like, I know this isn't similar, but like Jack Grealish, for example, people think is shit because he doesn't get 30 goals a season in a City team. If you watch a game of football, you see how good Jack Grealish is. It's the same with David Beckham. They're not the same level, by the way, just using that as an example.
Yeah, mate, it's killing football, isn't it? This whole
because people compare like Grealish or like Rashford, and like, what's the point? They're completely different players.
You get players
play in the same position.
You get players who are so boring and uninteresting to watch, but they get all this stat. Let's be honest,
it's like Hazard and Salah as well, isn't it? Obviously, Salah's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. Like Hazard was just more an attractive football player to watch. It's just one of those things. It's like this whole stats, like, and the whole style-based football these days, like tactics-based, is killing the game a little bit. There's no freestylers anymore. There's no people who actually make you fall in love with football anymore, because everyone's all the players hear it as well. They're so focused on padding their stats, getting their goals and assists, or making them look as good as they possibly can. Because football's played on paper now, and it's really annoying. Because back in the day of Beckham's, and back in the day, even like Ronaldinho and players like that, they didn't give a fuck about their stats.
They didn't even count until the end of the season when they give the
exactly.
goals. I bet they didn't give a shit.
They're just numbers on a paper.
Like, social media's ruined it.
Then yeah, exactly. They need to remember that football is entertainment, and these people are just it's annoying.
What you got to remember about football is it's the biggest sport in the world because it's perfect for a casual audience. The more you take that away, the less interesting it becomes, the less casuals are interested in it. Now, it will probably always be the biggest sport in the world, just because
so accessible, isn't it?
It's so accessible. It's so far away, and it's so ahead of everything else. Yeah. It probably always will be.
It will be.
But the problem with Beckham is as well, when you're looking at people younger than us, you can look at some great players. Let's say, I don't know, Marco van Basten's probably a really good example. Brilliant striker, but because he doesn't have like that, the way he plays wasn't incredible for YouTube compilations and things like that. No one's really that bothered. Once you've seen one David Beckham cross, it's kind of like you've seen them all. Yeah. And that's all his compilations are. Obviously, way more to him, but that's my opinion on on why he's so underrated.
I think it's all of that mashed into one, isn't it? Like the stats, his other, like his life and stuff, and maybe he's not the best clippable player for kids to watch now. But it's true with your general point in terms of like football, man. Like when we were growing up, we had so many players that made us excited to watch football. Like now, watching Premier League football, I struggle to think of one player that like blows me away. Like genuinely, like Haaland's mint, but it's like you just appreciate how good he is at finishing. Maybe a player like David Silva is kind of the last kind of one that you'd watch and be like, wow, look how the magician he is and what he does with a football. But everyone now is just it's so clinical, man. That's why we were on about the other day. We hate Man City's football, me and Connor and Curtis, I think, because it's just so clinical. Like there's no joy in it. I mean, even when United were very direct and didn't play the best football, it's just entertaining, man. And you had players that do stuff and get you off your seat and beat three people. And now it's just like, it's just dead, isn't it? It's just dead.
Yeah. Well, I think Liverpool are a really good example of that. When Klopp first joined, they were really entertaining, but that they had to change that.
I know, but I still, even in 2018, 19, 2020, you were still very entertaining to watch. I enjoyed watching Liverpool play.
We had to get more pragmatic though.
Yeah, you did. Oh yeah, it wasn't as like everyone still called it the gegenpressing heavy metal football because they didn't actually notice how much it changed. But it was still exciting to watch, like direct, clinical forwards. Like zip from defense to attack, like that goal against was it City when Trent fouled someone in the box and you went up and scored about 7 seconds later. Man City wouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I like watching. But like we said the other day, it's because probably me and Connor especially were brought up on that with United.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Grealish was the last footballer like that I remember.
Yeah,
when he was at Villa. Yeah. Who, like, I was excited to watch Aston Villa play because I wanted to watch Jack Grealish.
They were just Jack Grealish FC, weren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, and then they've gone there. Now he's gone to City in this system-based football. All the fun out of him's gone. Now the only player now that I think, I'm actually excited to see him play because he doesn't care about his goals and assists. He's genuinely probably fucking Mitoma, and that says a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think Diaz does either.
But I don't
Yeah,
like-
but
I don't
but you
like
know what?
Liverpool.
No one's waking up going, I can't wait to watch Luis Diaz play.
No,
Do you know
I
what
actually
mean?
agree. He's actually annoying me at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. There are no real like streets will never forget players.
No, like
At the
adult. I
moment.
know it's a common one, but like Adult man. I remember Adult more than most good footballers.
Him and
Yeah.
him and Ben Arthur.
Like when them
Me
goals
too.
used to go and he'd like Trivela it across the floor in at the bottom corner. Just how Berbatov players like that.
Yeah.
There's players that make you
It's like
look
a bit of flair,
how,
isn't it?
Yeah, how the fuck do you do that with a football? Like that skill, being fast and being good in the air it doesn't excite me. That's just like, well done, you've got a good instinct or whatever. But like Bergkamp, players like that, or like Jack says, Dimitri Payet even, like it's players like that where they're so techie that you're like, I can't comprehend being able to do that with a football. They're the players that you love watching.
Yeah, they train it out of you though. They literally train it out of you from like a young age. So like you have to be so good. You have to be on Payet's level. You have to be on Tarat's level to play like that and make it all the way through. Because for instance, just like my own personal experience, way back when, like 2016, when I was on trial at some of these academies, there was players. You know what? I'll name one for a perfect example. There's a lad at Cov called Jonathan Nagandu. I think he plays for Hamilton now. He's the best footballer I've ever played with in my life. He would get the ball and he'd run around everyone. He was faster than everyone. His skills, he would like try rainbow flicks. It was so fun to watch. We'd be there in training every time we done a rainbow flick or every time we done a nutmeg. Manager, old style, like didn't want a 4-4-2 kind of football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drop down and give me 10 press ups. How the fuck is that football? How is someone tries to flick, it doesn't come off, drop down, give me 10 press ups? You're just coaching the funness out of football, turn him into a robot. If he didn't done that, I guarantee you, he's the best footballer I've ever played with in my life. He would have ended up doing special things, but now he's, I think, rotting away on the bench in the Scottish second division or something like that.
That's why
it comes from the core, doesn't it? It's like when you see some players. I don't know whether it was Neymar or someone else, but he did a skill or something, and the referee literally booked him for doing like showboating. That's what I mean. It comes from everyone. It's not just it's not just
like when Nani
managers.
did that against Arsenal, he got snapped. And everyone was pissed off. I was like, that's fucking mint. It's like when you grow up as a kid, you emulate your idols, whether that's Ronaldinho or Ronaldo or Messi or whatever at the time. But like, it's so good and kids fall in love with it because you can it's the imagination. Like you want to do this, you want to look like your favorite footballer. A kid in Brazil who lives in a favela and people are walking around with AKs can pick up a football and go and play on a bit of time. I can forget about it. Like that's what football is. That's why everyone loves it because it's ingrained in your brain for such an early age about what it is, and it's just not the same anymore now. And that's genuinely why I can't sit there. I do it when I've got nothing else to do. But that's why I don't watch that much football. Like I watch United games and the odd big Prem game. Like I'm not sitting there watching Bundesliga or Serie A because I genuinely don't find it exciting anymore.
It's that old, like, I know you three are English, but you know that the English tackle, like they on about, if he does a skill, crop him and stuff like that. Like the reason Diaby's career ended, for instance, when he got cropped at Sunderland by, I forget who it was. But it's that tackle that it coaches the funness out of the English players as well. Like, for instance, Anthony. Like, Anthony's a perfect example. I don't think Anthony's any good. I think his fucking spin is, like, it doesn't work. It doesn't actually do anything. But at the end of the day, he's having, like, fun with the football. I remember when he did it.
Original as well. He made, like...
Yeah, he did it in the Europa League. I forget who it was against.
It was Sociedad because I was there.
Gold in the studio goes off on him. He's like, that's just embarrassing, that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Mate, there's a reason Brazil have won 5 World Cups and England have won 1. It's because in Brazil, from a young age, you're taught to have fun and be free with the football. In England, if you do that, hit him early. Don't let him take the piss out of you. Mate, it comes from that low. And people don't realise that, and it is what it is. I don't think it's
you used Neymar as an example earlier. He is the best. He is the best example of this, simply because I'd recommend researching this. So he left Santos relatively late. He was like 21, 22.
Yeah.
Now you think someone of his ability, he'd be there. He'd be in Europe by like 16, like a Vinicius or Rodrigo.
Well, they are now, yeah.
But Santos made a big deal of keeping him because they wanted Neymar to keep like a Brazilian play style. They knew he was going to go to Europe, but they wanted him to play like a Brazilian because they knew if he was going to go to Europe, they would just make him a European footballer.
Yeah.
I'd
say he's one of the best ones, I think, isn't he, of our generation, our era, of just like expressing yourself on the pitch, playing the way he wants to play. And it got him in a bit of trouble. He got the shit kicked out of him a few times, but he kept doing it. And like I said, how many of those players in the Premier League can you think of now? Maybe 1 or 2, not even that.
It's too
Boys?
system based. That's the reason football's boring. It's just
I
system.
miss Nanny now. Now I've mentioned Nanny. What the fuck? Nanny was genuinely
I used to love
one
Nanny.
of my favourite
We were.
footballers ever.
Dude, I'm missing Alberiera now for some reason. Right, boys, what's your right? Dylan, let's start with you. Favorite David Beckham goal or moment?
Ooh.
I mean, it's got to be one of the generic ones because I don't remember him playing that much. Obviously, I'll go with the second corner in '99, man. I've got to go with that. It's not a goal, is it? But
No,
like we said, if his delivery wasn't that good and that on point every single time, we would have not won a treble, which is pretty big.
Yeah, Connor.
I'll go for the equaliser against Tottenham 1999 because we needed that. Otherwise, Arsenal were going to win the league.
I need that. We need that.
Curtis.
I mean, obviously the free kick against Greece is the most obvious one, but there's one that I always, whenever I think of Beckham, the first thing that comes to my head, it was literally just a run. Well, it was a very good goal, but he played like a 80-yard diag over the top for Madrid again for Raul to like volley it
Yeah.
in, and I remember seeing that goal and just being like, "Fuck!" Like he literally had to put that ball on the exact like sixpence he did, and I just remember thinking like, "Fuck me, mate, this kid's unreal."
Yeah. It actually kind of says a lot how we've not seen a player like Beckham since. Like his comparison's Trent, really.
Yeah, it's not even close, bro,
Like
is it? Just
that,
Trent
there's,
can
no,
pass
there's,
the
no,
football,
it's
that's
so
it,
there's just never been really a player like him.
No,
It's
not in England
since.
anyway, because of what Connor said.
It's quite incredible. The one that sticks out for me is it was in 1999, and I think it was against Barcelona. He scored an amazing free kick. Like it just the curve on it was unbelievable. I don't know why that one sticks out specifically, but it does. Anyway, we're talking about streets we'll never forget players. Let's talk about one here. I'm joking. Eden Hazard.
Wow,
I'm
that's
joking,
harsh,
Curtis.
That
I'm
is harsh,
joking.
that hit me right in the heart. That one.
Warren Eden.
Eden Hazard has today announced his retirement from football, age 32. A brilliant player, an enjoyable player. Fantastic in the 2018 World Cup, helping Belgium to a third place finish, which is, I believe, the highest.
Probably.
With Moussa Sow and Gervinho, Hazard was huge in Lille's 2010-11 title-winning season when he was 19. I believe he won the Player of the Season as well. He made the step up and instantly just put the Premier League on notice with Chelsea, winning 2 league titles, 2 League Cups, 2 FA Cups, 2 Europa Leagues. And then he made the big money move to Real Madrid. And although he won everything, including the Champions League, let's be real, it didn't really work out.
He didn't really win it, did he?
Yeah, it's a very asterisk trophy haul at Real Madrid. But I don't want to be comparing him or whatever. Let's just discuss how good of a player he was. Curtis, you are the best person to start with here.
Yeah, boys, you're getting emotional. I've actually got goosebumps. Honestly, when I saw the announcement come through today, I honestly was upset about it. It's not an understatement to say that he's the best player I've seen. I've seen him live, and I've seen him obviously on the TV, and he's the best player in my era of being able to remember football that I've ever seen play for Chelsea. 100%. Like he was so good. He was one of those players, like we talked about just then. He's one of those players where you were excited to watch your team play because Hazard was playing. Like there was honestly a phase where we were so bad in the season when Mourinho got sacked. I think it was 15-16 when he was the only reason I wanted to watch Chelsea because the rest of the players were playing so badly. Like he didn't even have a very good season, but I still wanted to see him play because of the kind of player he was. He's one of those players where you give him the ball and you get excited, you immediately get off your feet. And I just think technically he's the best Chelsea player I've seen, and he's done a lot for. I mean, I know the move to Madrid is heartbreaking because I know he had the ability to go and do it, and obviously injuries. I think Mourinho said it, and it's gone around on Twitter a bit today. He said it in the 15 season, where unless players like him are a bit more protective because of how much they get fouled, then something like this is going to happen. And if he wasn't so injury prone the last 2 years in Madrid, it would have been a lot different, and I don't think he would have retired today. So. It's a very sad day because he's an unbelievable player in his day, and a Chelsea legend for forever.
Dale, any words on Eden Hazard?
He's not died. We sound like he's died. He hasn't died, but
I mean, his football has died, hasn't it? I guess, yeah. He's fucking unreal, man. Like I said earlier on Twitter, he's like, no matter who you support, you should always enjoy watching a player like Eden Hazard play and just taking it in and enjoying it and not taking it for granted that we've had the prime of a player like that in the Premier League. He's, like the goal against Arsenal, the goal against Spurs as well. Just there's so many to count, but like the way he could pick the ball up from deep and drive at a defence and just beat everyone and finish it, play a little 1-2, could play out wide as well, and a very underrated finisher. He could do literally everything with a football, and is the kind of play that we were on about the other day. I think when we were slandering Haaland a bit, saying that Haaland can't win a game of football on his own. Hazard is the kind of player you want on your team, like a Messi or someone like that. If you want to give someone the ball and just try and do something out of nothing. Just such a techie footballer, so good to watch for so long in the Premier League as well. I liked his personality as well because he always backed himself and was a little bit cocky, which I like with footballers. And yeah, just a shame with the Madrid stuff, like the injuries and the managers they've had, and also the question of did he really want it enough? I reckon his head dropped after the first season or two, to be honest, and he was just waiting for something like this to happen. But yeah, sad, but at least we got a good 6-7 years of Eden Hazard in the Premier League at his absolute peak, and I'm glad we got that and not the Real Madrid version.
Connor JD says Hazard overrated, Son clear.
Son's not clear. Fucking, I don't know. Son's not clear in nanny, mate, for me. So.
Hazard's just never been overrated, in my opinion. Never been overrated.
No, he had that spell where he didn't score for nearly a year, which was a bit nuts, actually. But
yeah, I agree. That is shit. But I just feel like
6 days, I think it was.
Yeah. But what I was on about earlier about those players who don't care about their stats, I feel like Hazard was one of the last top players that didn't give a fuck about any of that. He did not care about his stats. And you mentioned the 2018 World Cup. Man, that was a clinic. Better hit. Hazard
so good.
He was so fun to watch. Took Belgium, small nation really, to their second ever World Cup semi-final. Something about Eden Hazard. I mean, he made me like Chelsea. That team where he was there, Costa was there,
William Fabregas, that team.
Yeah, Terry and Cahill at the back.
Felipe Luis, players like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Them Chelsea teams, they made me like Chelsea. They just had dogs, man. And Hazard was that. Hazard was just like that beautiful, like he just played it the right way. You know what I mean? Everything about him was, he didn't care about stats. You get the ball. The Arsenal goal was one of the few times I've watched like a goal or a moment in a football match where I've like genuinely just sat there and thought, wow, it doesn't happen very often when you see something like that. Was it Coquelin that he just shoved to the ground? And
went flying.
You couldn't stop the bloke in his prime. You could not stop him. He played football the perfect way. And I think it's the right time for him to retire, to be honest. He's not got much left to give. So what's the point in dragging it out any longer and just making some more money?
I think the fact that he's not gone to Saudi and got a paycheck just shows that maybe he did fall out of love with the game a little bit. And one of those players who had one of the best abilities, but if he really, really wanted it, he probably could have done more. But like Connor said, I don't think he was really a stat-based player. He's one of those players, a lot of his managers, I think Mourinho and even one more, said that he needs to be more selfish because he just enjoyed the game and he had fun with it. And I think the fact that no rival fans can be like, oh, I hate Hazard, just shows like he was such a likable bloke. Like he never really, he got kicked so much, but he never
played
really.
For fouls, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't play for fouls. He didn't roll around 20 times after getting kicked. He just got back on with it and then would do the same thing again. Like you can't hate the bloke, and I think he was an unbelievable player.
Yeah, he plays football like it's five-side with his mates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely great player. He was never the player I was interested in seeing at Chelsea though. It was always N'Golo Kante. I just thought that dude was a freak.
Yeah.
Prime Kante, absolute freak. Curtis, favourite Eden Hazard moment?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, obviously scoring that goal against Spurs to stop them from potentially winning the league and giving it to Leicester is definitely up there. Scoring a brace in his farewell game against Arsenal in the Europa League final it went out in the perfect way. And even afterwards, what I love about Hazard, after that game, he was getting interviewed on the pitch and they were like, is this the last time we're going to see you in Chelsea shirt? And at the beginning, he was like, oh, we'll wait and see. And then the reporter pushed him a little bit and he was like, come on, the Chelsea fans want to know. And he was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go because it's the right time for me. Like there was no bullshit and he wasn't trying to give us false hope. He was just straight up and said, look, Madrid are the team I've always wanted to play for. I'm going to sign for them. Like, thanks for everything. And the Chelsea fans respect him for that because he wasn't trying to like, oh, I might sign a contract, I might not. He just he chased his dream and unfortunately it didn't work for him. But you can't have a go at anyone for going to Madrid, can you?
To be honest, I suppose you look at what's happened to me like the past 4 seasons. Definitely the right time on Chelsea's point of view. Got 100 million for him.
Oh yeah, we cashed in at exactly the right time. Yeah, just before the injuries hit in. But yeah, unbelievable player, man. Chelsea legend. One of my favourite Chelsea ever player.
Yeah, it probably felt horrendous at the time, but in hindsight, unbelievable timing from Chelsea.
Yeah, it was a
not got right recently, but they got that right. Dill, any Eden Hazard moment that stands out for you?
I was going to say quickly, I admire that he actually owned up and said he was going to leave, unlike CR Kelly did after that final against Barcelona. But yeah, the one that always comes to mind for me, this isn't a favourite Hazard moment. But do you remember that save De Gea made when he was 1-on-1 with him at Old Trafford? Connor, you surely remember that. It just always sticks in my mind. I just thought I'd mention it. It's like one of the best De Gea saves ever. It's like
No,
throwing
I know
goal
what
in.
you're on about.
Yeah. Anyway,
Was that the game where Ander Herrera was marking him?
I want to say no. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry, I'm waffling. Favorite Eden Hazard moment. I'm just going to go that. It's cliche, but that goal against Arsenal, the way he dribbles through so many players, stays on his feet, pushing DMs to the floor, and then just rifles it past. Was it checking goal for Arsenal at the time, which is quite, quite
ironic.
a nice storyline as well. Yeah, so it's got to be that goal against Arsenal for me.
Connor, what about you?
When he laughed at Branislav Ivanovic for trying to speak English.
Oh, that is you, man.
That's such a good
There were so many clips of him at the training ground, like he was just a joker, like he seemed like such a cool guy. But yeah, that one fucking cracks me up. He like leans into John Terry, I think, and he's like fucking pissing himself.
Yeah, that one was hilarious. Actually, you know what? I'll go with the celebration he did against Palace when he won the league. He missed the penalty, scored the header rebound, won the league. His celebration was really funny, so I'll give him that one.
I think mine's the goal against Spurs.
I love the way he just first times it and arrows it into that top.
That
was
running away from the ball as well.
That game was so good, man.
It's a chaotic game ended by just pure beauty.
Class. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to play some football tennis?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna get battered with these boys, and I fucking hell.
No, you're not. I'm shy, mate.
Problem is, Connor definitely has an advantage with this one.
Oh, brilliant. Fucking hell, man.
It's on Serie A one. I was watching that
lose,
Korea
I'll
pack
lose.
there. It was all Serie A.
I'm in my Eden Hazard emotional era, so I'm not actually mentally prepared for this.
Channel the frustration of Hazard retiring, Curtie.
All right, mate. All right, I got it.
Football tennis. England's 2006 World Cup squad.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I don't have.
I'm chalked. I'm absolutely chalked.
I'm going to struggle to do more than 2 or 3 here.
Okay, who do you want to start with? Do you want to go Dill, Connor, Curtis?
Yeah.
2006. Oh, God. All right, I got a couple, actually.
Right, I'll start. Wayne Rooney.
Peter Crouch.
John Terry.
Correct. Who,
Oh, sorry. We need to get the green light. Sorry, I said Terry.
Yep.
Steven Gerrard.
Yep.
Oh my God, I've forgotten who's been said. So I'll just go with Paul Robinson. I need to concentrate.
That was my next one.
Correct.
Lampard.
Yep.
Joe Cole.
Correct.
Mate, someone's definitely said him. I can't. I need to concentrate, man. What the fuck? Oh no. All right. So, oh my God. Why am I not? Rio. Fuck me.
Yep.
Ashley Cole.
Oh, you slag.
Yep.
G-Nev's got to have been there, right, Gary Neville?
Yep.
Mate. Tranquilo, man. Someone's Michael Owen. Fuck me.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, Beckham must have been there.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Beckham was there.
Okay, I've got one.
Shit a brick.
I'm low-key struggling, man.
Michael Carrick.
Yep.
Owen Hargreaves.
You dickhead.
Yep.
You just seen that one in the chat. I wasn't going to say it.
I haven't seen him in this. I swear down, I haven't seen him.
You're not? Someone's put Hargreaves in the chat.
I haven't seen him.
I didn't know if it was baiting. It's going
Paul
to be right.
Scholes.
No.
Oh, get out, you slag. You must have
Get
been
out.
injured.
Yeah, he must have been injured.
Yeah. No Paul Scholes.
Boo.
It's down to me, isn't it? Oh. Second choice goalkeepers, maybe. Rob Green.
Rob Green
Yeah.
was not there.
Shit.
Do I still need to name one?
I think
Yeah.
you do.
Yes.
Stuart Downing.
Yeah. Correct.
I love how he acts
Downing.
like, oh, how am I ever going to do this? And then he said about 7.
No, you know the
Twat.
first three. I don't know. I forgot what we were doing. Like kind of. And I didn't know who. I wanted to say Terry, but I said Ferdinand instead. Did someone say Terry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Terry, yeah.
Well, I would have been out because I was about to say it.
Okay. The players you
What about
missed.
Scholes? What about Defoe? Was Defoe in there?
So the players you missed was Sol Campbell, David James, Wayne Bridge, Jamie Carragher, Jermaine Genius, Aaron Lennon, Scott Carson, and a young winger by the name of Theo Walcott.
Ah.
Oh,
David,
mad
to be
that
fair,
was in that
David
squad,
James
isn't
and Walcott are the only two.
Yeah,
obvious
I should have
ones,
said
think.
David James. I knew.
A lot of them aren't that obvious, I don't feel like. They're not like
I was going to
mainstays
say
in England.
Walcott, but I thought he got left out. But I think he got left out in
No.
2010.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2006. He was
2018,
like it was like a big thing.
Yeah, he was
when
like
got joined.
17, wasn't he?
Oh fuck!
It was like the youngest ever England player to play at a World Cup.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
I almost bottled that.
You
We
boys
should've
can
got that.
redeem yourself, however.
Oh, we got another one, have we?
We have another one.
Go
Oh,
back.
God.
Come on.
Okay. Football tennis, Chelsea 16-17 squad.
That's
off.
so. That's
It's
so.
right off.
That's so. That's so.
Should we start with Curtis?
Wait,
Oh.
Curtis Connor
second?
Dill.
All right.
All right. Aiden Hazard.
Yeah.
Diego Costa.
Yeah.
Nemanja Static.
Yeah.
No need for that, mate.
Willian.
Yep.
Tech had gone, so I'll go with Thibaut Courtois.
Yep.
Gary Cahill.
Yep.
Cesc Fabregas.
Yep.
You guys are quick, man. Do they have to have played? That's a bit.
It's Wikipedia's Chelsea 16-17 squad.
All right, because I know certain players with Ole Einar.
Yes.
Gone
hell.
that
Did
far.
not expect you to
He's
get that one.
He does it every time, man. John Terry.
Yep.
Kante.
Yep.
Has anyone mentioned the murderer yet?
We're not giving him any clues. Fuck
Marcus Alonso.
Yep.
him. Murderer. Fuck me. Felipe Luis.
Felipe Luis
Yeah.
was apparently not there.
What?
Hold on.
Surely he was, because he won the league there. Or did he
Yeah,
win
I
the
thought
one
he
after
was.
that?
No, he won the one before that. He won the
Did
one before
he?
that in 14-15.
Oh,
14, 15.
shit.
Yeah, I think he might. He might have gone.
Hold on. VAR.
I think
Yeah,
he's gone,
14
mate.
Yeah, he'd gone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Unlucky.
Can't believe that.
Felipe
Is it on
Luis
to
is
me?
Not there. Yep.
Victor Moses.
Yep.
Burkina Faso legend Bertrand Traore.
Was he in the squad?
I swear he was in the.
I don't think he was. I think that's too early.
I don't
Connor,
think
he
he
was
was.
not in the squad.
Yes! Vamos!
Well
I
done,
didn't even.
Curtis.
I didn't even have any mainstream ones left. I was fucked.
There was like
Yeah,
there's
who was-
loads, man. No,
who
did
was
anyone
left?
say Aspi?
Yeah,
No,
one
he
said
was
Aspi.
my. Aspilicueta was my next one, and
Quadrado, Loftus Cheek.
Let me have a
Loftus
look.
Cheek. Yeah, him and Loftus Cheek.
So the players you missed are Begovic, Eduardo, Kurt Zuma, Nathan Ake, Aspilicueta, David Luiz, Pedro, Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
Pedro.
Kennedy, Nathaniel Chalobah, Charlie Masonda, Michi Batshuayi, and Big Dom Solanke.
We
Was
should have
it,
got loads more.
it was 16-17. Fucking Bertrand Traore was on loan. Chelsea loan everyone.
We do loan
Probably to
everyone.
Bethesda.
Well,
Probably.
what-
Hey, I'll take that dub.
That's such a shit clip. That's what 10 seconds long.
Nah, you
Nah,
know
we
what?
got a few.
You should do a I'm saying we should do a thingy that I was on about the other day, but we don't have to do that today.
No. Anyway,
I can't
that's all
see
we've got time for today. Dill, Connor, Curtis, thanks for joining. Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you